Good morning, Monsignor.
Good morning.
We are very privileged to be with you here in your parish, St. Victor's Parish, Onoyima in Nsukka, Enugu State, Nigeria. We are privileged to meet you because of your impact all over the world. So many have read you in books, so many have heard about you, so many have hear people talk about you. And so we would like to get a first-hand information by knowing the person, the personality, like you. And so we'd like you to tell us a little about yourself.
Taddeo onoyima, Monsignor, Omomondo, then local government, Enugu State. Primary schools, Omondo, Ekwebe, Ezimo. And that is how we covered it. Then junior seminary, All Hallows. Went there. From there, bigger seminary, then Rome. That is how we went to school.
Oh, you finished your seminary days in Rome?
Yes, I was ordained in Rome by Pope Paul VI. I spent 9 years there, where we were studying. Yes, I finished it. I was ordained there, and I came back in 1978. I was ordained in 6th January 1973, and I came back 78, and then went into Bigard Seminary to teach. Yes.
And I guess you spent close to 22 years teaching as a lecturer.
Yes, first of all, formation.
Okay.
In the seminary is 27 years. 2 years in the junior or home. 22, Bigard Memorial Seminary. And I was going from here to Attack. 6th. That is Spiritans. 3 years. That is for seminary. Then, when I was in the seminary, Bigard Memorial Seminary, I repeat, I was a chaplain in University of Nigeria, Enugu campus, St. Mulungas, 20 years. Then, when I came back to Nsukka here, I was sent by Bishop Okubo to the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, 14 years, 3 months. And I was in charge of Knight of St. John International, 24 years, Grand Spiritual Director, National. Well,
a lot to be said.
Yes.
In fact, I think we'll come back to the aspects where we'll talk about your experience in university campus.
Yes.
But I believe that a man like you would certainly have philosophy that is driving you, because you wouldn't be making so much impact without having a very strong philosophy. So can we know about your philosophy of life?
Well, first of all, for me, the whole life is a mystery. And there was one philosophy I developed when coming back from Europe, near the Mediterranean Sea. When we were to enter the sea, one priest with me was panicking because they were putting our trunks inside the sea. And I told him, listen, you either enter the sea or you go by boat, personal, or you go by A, or you go by car and go through the Sahara. That I heard that our people were at a go slow. We were hearing it in Europe. Then I told him, this is Fadeke. I came back with him from old houses. That I have now entered the go slow. So that when I would go home, I would fit in well. Then I told him that it means a cool, calculated, prudent, consistent, patient way of waiting for what God wants to give you. That is a type of summary of my own particular philosophy. Yes. But as we go on, you hear more. Yes.
Okay, probably that is why so many people have come to know you as go slow.
Ichie go slow.
Ichie go slow.
Now, how did it? Let me tell you. When I went to Bigard, then there was a game. I mean, the seminary games. And then I saw students from Anambra State, dancing if you dance. And I didn't see any member of staff following them. Because when I went to Bigad, once you wanted to panic, I told you I was, and I'm not go slow, cool down. I keep saying it always. Then, when I saw the students dancing and no member of staff joined them, and I was director of sports, then I went and put one hat, Imo hat even, and used my wrapper and tie. And then students then put Iche, goes Iche. Students put that Iche. But in the 80s, before I left Bigad, we met the rector, Aponono, PD, the director of rectors, Prof. And I told him, this thing is cultural, and we must make it a cultural society. Then I had some students who were interested in Zekwesi, Fadobiola, they are all were in my students. Then I told them, Akunon accepted. He understood me very well. I can't forget him. He was my boss. He accepted we should make it Iche Cultural Association of Bigad. Because I told them, you cannot be challenging, or if you like, talking about one culture. We condemn some also which should not be. But we have no alternative. And I told them that the alternative we have to create is that we must create Ichehu in the church, so that time is coming when a catechist can be given some title. That it will no longer be how much money you have in the town, but what you have done. That is how it was started. And then I told Nzekwesi, Father, he's a priest, please go and put it in writing, document it, back it up with Vatican II document. And that is how it became something, and we were allowed to start Iche Cultural Association of Bigad, because we need our culture. I told them, you cannot be staying upstairs, pointing down to villagers without you coming down, and you want to change them. And some, we cannot just, some can't even talk their dialect. And this thing became a big thing, because in the Bigad then, they began, it's a one day for it. I think 19th February or something, day of St. Joseph. I don't know the date exactly. So that's how Iche Go Slow came about. Iche was added through what we were doing. But it became something really. And it took my name somehow. And again, the reason why I accepted it is that when we were in the junior seminary, there is from a seminar room, all familiar touches should be avoided, as well as calling calling a seminarian in a familiar way that betrays undue affection. Avoid every type of nickname. I'm quoting now seminar rule that was given to us in 1959. That's what it was repeated in the refectory. Then, as I came to Bigad, I said, we are meeting the youths. There must be a way you allow the youths to let out steam. Then I took that nickname. And it began to moderate some. And then people say that nickname is not all that as negative. That's why I retained it, even though some didn't understand me. But it didn't matter to me. But people, some knew where I was going. And the Aponono knew, nobody else. So that is why he continued that way. And now was go slow, go slow. And it became something, because some people came to know that where those running reach, those walking will reach, if God permits it.
Thank you, Monsignor. I will still take you back to your days at Bigad.
Yes.
27 years you stayed in the seminary formation.
No, I said 22 in Bigad, 2 junior permanent.
Okay,
but I was going to teach in Sist from Nsukka Diocese.
Yes.
When I returned to Nsukka, they invited me to be teaching there. Yes. So not permanently. It's living. I lived in the seminary for 25 years. Yes, junior and senior.
25 years in the junior and senior seminaries. You may have taught even the bishops, even some bishops.
Some of them. Yes. There is no doubt about it. And the archbishops, even nuncios. I thank God because I can't understand why all these things happening. Honestly.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. We thank God. Now, looking at the formation in the seminary, and the life outside the seminary. Do you think that the formation in the seminary is actually preparing the seminarians for life outside the seminary, especially the pastoral challenges we are having in the world today?
Well, first of all, when I was born, when we went to the seminary in 1959, I finished 64. Europeans were the people at that time we had, as rectors and everybody. And as things were developing, thank God, our people began to come in there. So, but the question of trying to put a type of things are moving, ideas move the world. And therefore, you cannot put a type of stamp that it must be the way they trained us. That's the way they must be trained today. So, what I'm trying to say is that the type of wood we had, monkey, that's the ones we use. The only thing is that the principles of becoming Reverend Father should not be changed. But the method of approaching many facts, beginning from this thing we're doing now, has changed. And so if some people don't want to accept that, you remain where you are and they leave you. Because look at children now. Okay, this is a time of Koro. They are now trying to teach people and they are sitting down in their home. And this means a lot of advancement. So we must be, it is we that adjust to advancement. Change, it doesn't wait for you. It is you to change in the situation, isn't it? Yeah. But maintaining the quintessence, the substance of the Catholicity and the seminary life and the priesthood. Yes. We have seen formators whom we formed by God's grace. Yes. We must not remain there forever. So people thinking that the world is collapsing because no, God is in control. Definitely.
Monsignor, thank you so much. We'll still take you back to your days in Bigad. In fact, having put up such number of years in the seminary, then you are a formator. You continue to be a formator. And can you just give us an idea of areas their formation should be emphasized?
Well, I do not think that if you want to be a Reverend Father, then you'll be so much after money, property. You understand what I mean? Materialism. Yes. And people should know that this going to the seminary of priesthood is a call. It's not a profession. It's not just a career. And people should know it is God who calls, who goes there. And people should sometimes remember, even though some people may not understand what I'm going to say now, remember that when you come to traditional religion, oracles are consulted before an atamama becomes one. That is Ezemo, as some people call it. And after that, this atamama belongs to the shrine. And what he has belongs to the shrine. And is a sacred type of human being, isn't it?
That's true.
That is the idea that that type of religion can give us. I'm not saying that Christianity becomes another religion. But I'm trying to say that when some people have seen it that way, then you see that whatever you have as a priest belongs to the church. Not what you grab. Because looking at it, you see our Catholic priesthood, you don't mind. I always say it, even if you get a child, it's not official, isn't it? Oh, and any type of friendship, I call it a sandwich course of driving without particulars. Whatever you want, whichever you want to interpret it. So after looking at yourself, when you die, you will not be buried in your family. You'll be buried by the church. So if some were to know that we belong to the church, because we have been so consecrated ritualistically through our training and so forth, then people will begin to come back so that it doesn't become a business as some may think today. Yes, and if you don't take time, you join them. Because it will always be attractive and people will be talking of who is popular, who is not popular. That's not the issue. Because he's a priest Of course, you know how it is said in the Bible, isn't it? Called to come and serve people in sacred things. Not because he's a saint, but because God wants to make saints of them, if you like. He wants to use them. So that's what I'm trying to. I'm trying to say that the idea of priesthood cannot be changed. For certain aspects of life today, if you don't take time, you are carried away by them. And then you begin to tell me how many cars I will ride as a Reverend Father. Personal cars. I'm not against any car you are riding. But I ask myself, I park 3 or 4 or 5 personal cars. And people are dying in the village. And I'm looking for money to maintain them. I have always stood against this type of thing. I'm not better than any Reverend Father. I'm not holier than any Reverend Father. But I can't be competing with any ordinary businessman. Isn't it? Because a priest is a special prophet. That's the way I look at it. I'm not telling anybody to believe me. Yes. Because once you begin following the trend that things are moving, sometimes Pentecostal, you even lose the basics for which you went there. Because you be so much, these things attract people. Who doesn't know that? Yes. But a priest, of course, must ride a good car. We know that. Yes. Because eventually now, okay, now that I'm here, if tomorrow the location, that is where I should go, she comes out, and I have this type of thing, I have a headache where to, and how to manage those things. Why this type of headache? You look at this, you ask yourself, according to Bishop Okobo, for whom are you gathering this? Bishop Ona says the same thing. And other bishops. So it's good you are asking me this question. But I congratulate all those who are forming them. Let me tell you, when you shall have finished teaching the seminary and they come out, they do what they like, many of them. Nobody teaches them to be a little bit going off with materialism. No. But if you don't take time as a seminarian, you will be getting about 10 phones. I mean, not 10, sorry, more than 1 or 2. How do you maintain them? These are things. So I'm trying to say that basically a simple life may help a priest better. Yes, even a Christian, even if you're not a priest, even if you're a seminarian. But I repeat, I am not this type of thing people are talking. I'm not a symbol or an example for any Reverend Father. I'm still struggling. I told you people, I started saying it in 1978. And I'm happy that my bishop repeated it. Bishop Ona, when he was ordaining people. What do I understand? It's a mystery. And when you are going with mystery, then you're very, very careful. Because you can never tell. So I'm only trying to say this question, I don't know whether I'm telling you what I feel, but I repeat, I am not an example for any Reverend Father. We have a wonderful example that is Jesus Christ. You
say you are a struggling priest.
Yes. Yes. Who gave me? It was Bishop Eneje who gave me that title. 1980 something. He was chatting. I was in UNEC that time, and then he came. How I was behaving that when the bishop comes for pastoral visit, we have arranged everything. After mass, I told him, please join these people, and the people to be joined. These socials, they will take him to where they want. I told them, tell the bishop anything you want. If what you tell him will make me be removed here, better. I didn't want to. So I was coming in, and then I heard him say, this is the only person, one of my children, the only person ordained the Reverend Father of all those who entered the junior seminary with him in 1959. And he said, he's still a struggling priest. And that is a perfect description of me.
And they would always say,
he is my oracle. I wrote it down in one of my books, Lessons for Life, Volume 1. I courageously put it there because I know what he was my junior seminary rector and understood me so well and put me in Knights of St. John, UNEC, Brigade, and Charism. And I know the experience I gathered from this. And I did everything to be changed in any of them, and he refused till he resigned. Retired as a bishop. So when I say my oracle, I'm not sentimental about it. I'm talking of that time, isn't it? So that is how the world struggled in peace.
If you remember Big God today, your formation in the Big God, do you have cause to regret anything?
Regret? I'm happy I was there. I have nothing to regret for being in Big God. Yes, nothing at all. And I enjoy staying there, but it's not easy to be a formator because many don't want to go there. Yes, and many who want to go there are not even allowed to go there. No, I have no regrets. And remember, how did I come into the seminar? It was when I was to do my probation, 1964. Then Bishop Kennedy approached me when I was from All Hallows and asked me, would you like to teach in the junior seminary of home? I told him, yes, sir, yes, fine. That is how I went there. I didn't know it would be that way. Then, when I finished there, went to Bigad, 1966, they began to say, the students began to sing it. When I was going to the seminar, I was not thinking of where I would be sent except to be priest. So that is how I went there. Eventually, when I finished my studies, I came back and I was sent directly to Bigad to teach scripture. And that is how I went there and continued staying there. I didn't know they would leave me till that. I did not know that, honestly. After the first time, the first sabbatical, I told Bishop Oeneje, if you give me alternative, please send me to a parish. He told me, you are not going to take a parish. He told me that 3 times. Then I stopped talking. But each time they would tell me to go back. And then we went back. Because the way I was talking, as you are saying now, no nonsense. I will tell you what I think is true. It does not matter how you feel about it. Because only truth survives with honor. Yes. It's not to hurt anybody, but to make people see black is black, white is white, full stop. That's what I believe. And we die once. And when you begin to cover the truth so that people will like you, when they discover it, what shame is it? And if there's anybody to say the truth, it is the Reverend Father. Catholic, because there are only people who receive holy orders. I don't want to talk about others.
Thank you, Monsignor.
So that's how it is.
Thank you.